I feel like this stage in my life is called, this era is called becoming a better version of me. And I see that of trying new recipes, always going on walks, doing things or buying things that make me happy, saving money, traveling, doing things that I know that can keep my sanity at a good level, doing things that can always put a smile on my face, not letting people telling me what I should do with my life. Hi besties, welcome to You Against You podcast, and I'm your host, Deja Nicole. So in today's episode, which is season 4, episode number 5, it is titled, this era is called Beauty in the Becoming. So I feel like, especially that we're still in January as we speak, even though I feel like January has been like fast, this is a perfect episode for the new month that's coming up, which is February, and just, the new year, because no, you're not going to have everything set in stone in the first couple of months, the first 2 to 3 months of a new year. So if you ever want to know how you can become a better self, you can always come back into this episode again, which is season 4, episode number 5, besties. So this episode is going to be kind of different because, like I said, if you don't know, I do want to do some Christian podcast episodes here and there. And this episode is going to touch based on the Christian side of things, the faith-based side of things. So, yeah. But let's just get into today's episode first with our weekly updates, where we talk about my mental health checkup, the quote, the affirmation, the journal prompt, and where you can find Your Against You podcast. So, mental health checkup is, I'm doing great. Like, I just ended my cycle. I know most of my listeners are women, so yeah, I don't care. But I just ended my cycle, which when I'm on my cycle, it's like I feel very sluggish, but I would say I felt very different when I had my cycle. I actually had it early, which was kind of expected, but I had my cycle early and I felt very motivated to do a lot of things. And yeah, next thing, I'm doing good mentally, happy. Yes, I might cry here and there because, like I said, I'm an unemployed 23-year-old. It is hard to find a job, so I'm still applying, and I know God will bless me with a job one day, hopefully soon. But I've been, reading, trying to finish these 6 books before the end of the month, which I know I can do. I am working on my novel, about to submit this second draft to a formatter on Monday, so I will be staying up all late today to write. So yeah, and I am just, I don't know, I feel like I have really reflected a lot lately on life, and I am just doing things that makes me happy. For some reason, I have had the urge to get my American Girl doll out of my dollhouse that I'm saving for when I have a daughter. And I have my American Girl doll on my shelf in my room, and it's healing something inside me. So yeah, there's no age limits with dolls and stuffed animals. I have stuffed animals and little trinkets and all of that throughout my room. I like Legos, so I feel like I want to do an episode about healing your inner child and just being within your inner child. So yeah, but yeah, but let's just get into the quotes, the affirmation, and the journal prompt. So the quote of today's episode is, "And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than risk it took to blossom." I feel like this quote really resonate with today's episode because I feel like a lot of people that go through a lot of hardships, a big blessing always comes later in life. And for an example, if y'all don't know, I'm in a relationship with a great guy. His name is Andy. We will be 2 months actually next Wednesday. Well, Wednesday because it is Friday. So we'll be 2 months on the 21st. And I can resonate with this quote because I never thought that I could be I don't think I value love. I never thought I deserved to be loved. That's what I'm trying to say. I never thought I could deserve to be loved at one point in my life, and I was on Hinge. I told myself this is my last time to be on a dating app. If nothing comes out of it, then it is what it is. God does not want me to be in a relationship. And I met this guy. This guy liked my profile. He actually answered one of my prompts, which was about books. And he was like, "Would you read sci-fi?" I was like, "I can get into that. I'm always up to reading something new." So I was like, okay. And he's cute. I find guys with glasses cute. They're only 6 months apart because his birthday is in 2 weeks. Actually, when posting it, it would be in 1 week, his birthday. So, and he was on deployment. So, me thinking in my head, nothing will come out of this. He's on deployment. Once he come back, he's probably, going to, talk to another girl, all of that jazz, because he's in the military. And I had the mentality that all military guys were the same. He's not the same. And, literally, I had a mentality. 2 months later, here we are. We always update each other. My family loves him. And we love each other. We are okay being apart from each other because we both know that we have our own thing outside of a relationship. And I feel like, I'm gonna do a whole episode on this, but I feel like if you make your relationship based on your person, you do not have a personality, and you make your personality based on the person that you're with, you're going to lose a lot when it comes to who you are in your life and friends. But I'm gonna do a whole episode on that. But what I'm using that as an example for this quote is because I took the risk to date him. I took the risk to download Hinge and to go on a date. But I still have this fear of what if this and what if that, and something beautiful came out of it. And I love that man so damn much. Bestie's he is my person. And I'm not just saying that because you can be with someone and they are not your person, But when I'm saying that, we both we are there for each other. We support each other. We are there if we need to talk. We don't argue. I can be myself with him, and that's the best part. Monday, was it Monday or Tuesday? It was Tuesday. And he was cause Monday I was I'm just gonna eat my popsicle, cause we went to the Asian market, and he was okay, I just eat mine tomorrow. I was wait, you coming tomorrow? He was yeah, why not? I want to hang out with my girl. I was but I thought you'd be busy, this and that. No, he found time to see me, and he's in the military, and I thought he would be tired, but no, he wasn't. So he finds time to talk to me, to speak to me, to see me, And that's what I like. And that's why I feel like this is like the most beautiful thing that has happened in my life so far. And same thing with his, because he has felt the same as how I felt with the whole dating scene. But yeah, I'm sorry about that tangent, but I really wanted to share that because of this quote. So the affirmation is, I embrace the beauty of my journey, knowing that every step is shaping the person I'm meant to be. You gotta realize that you have to change for who you are, and also you can only change if you want to change. You can't change if someone asks you to change. And with this affirmation, I feel like change is the most beautiful thing ever, because you can learn things that make you happy, that doesn't make you happy, and you have a lot to learn in life. Especially with like young adults, we're in our 20s. If you're in your late teens, early 20s, this episode I feel like is for you, because this is the whole, like, these first 10 years of our life of adulthood, because our 20s are our first 10 years of adulthood technically, is us changing and evolving of things that we like. And with me, I like that I still have my childlike spirit with me, and I feel like that will never go away. I like pink, I like girly things and trinkets and all, but that is something that is a part of me that I'm realizing while I'm getting older. So yeah, but that's the affirmation. And then today's journal prompt is, reflect on a part of your life where you've seen growth or has brought unexpected beauty in your life, or what you've learned to appreciate along the way. And then, before we get into today's episode, besties, because it passed like about 12 minutes, you can follow You Against You podcast on both Insta and TikTok, which is You Against You pod dot by Deja. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share. If you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave a rating, a review, and share. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, don't forget to share, leave a comment, and a rating. If you do that, it helps push up my podcast to newer listeners. But let's just get into today's episode, besties. So I will be talking about 3 different key points, and 2 key points are basically what the episode is all about. The last key point is just basically Bible verses that you probably want to get your Bible later in the episode if you're listening to this while cleaning or something, and grab a highlighter or a pen so you can highlight and underline it. But let's just get into the first part of the episode before we get into the last part of the episode. So the first part of the episode is defining the becoming stage. So first you have to ask yourself who you want to become. Get a sheet of paper and ask yourself who you want to become, because you're going to ask yourself this question: what does this stage mean to you? So me being 23, turning 24 in 6 months, I feel like with me, I am a girly girl through and through. But as someone who wants to learn how to stress less and learn how to control her feelings and her anxiety, and learn how to not really depend on a lot of people, to actually get my ass up and do things and learn new things, I feel like this stage in my life is called, this era is called becoming a better version of me. And I see that of trying new recipes, always going on walks, doing things or buying things that make me happy, saving money, traveling, doing things that I know that can keep my sanity at a good level, doing things that can always put a smile on my face, not letting people telling me what I should do with my life if their life is not good. So you have to ask yourself, when you are asking yourself, what does the stage means to me? Is what exactly is this stage called? What is this era called? That, or who is this person? Write a list of the person that you want to be, because at the end of the day, it is you against you, not you against the world. And when you are becoming someone or evolving into someone or something that you want to be, you are going to have a lot of disciplines. It's going to be a lot of days that you don't want to try anymore. There's going to be a lot of days that you are going to try. So you have to ask yourself, what does this stage mean to me? The next thing in the defining the becoming stage is, what beauty can you find in the stage that you are in life right now? So with me, I feel like the next stage is employment. That is literally like a next stage that I want to be in, employment and license. So the beauty that I can find in the current stage that I'm in is, one, I don't have to wake up very early just to get ready for work. I can actually learn to take things slow, have a nice slow morning, and also make a routine set in stone for me. So I can make routines for me that works for me, that is curated for me. I can enjoy, I can have music and enjoy just doing my skincare or making my bed or reading. I can enjoy reading. Like, that's the beauty of it, of unemployment. I have the beauty of enjoying everything that I want to do. So you have to ask yourself, what is the beauty that the stage of life that you're in right now, what beauty can you find in it? And sometimes it can be hard, because I feel like we're in a world that a lot of crap is happening right now in the United States, around the world. So we try to not really want to find the beauty of it, because yes, things that are happening around the world is affecting us, especially Gen Zs, and we see it on social media. We get our news from social media. Millennials got their news from the news channel on TV, and they still get it on social media. But most of Gen Z now, we get our news from social media. We did get it from like the TV, news stations and stuff, but now we usually get it from social media. And the things that are happening around the world with the ice raids and things that are just happening, it can be very hard to really focus on what can I do to not keep my mind on that, because it's negative, it's dark, and we have to try to find the beauty in things. So this is why I feel like everyone should have a hobby, because when you have a hobby, you are finding a beauty, and doing your hobby, you are doing something that can put a smile on your face. So you can just try to find what beauty of life that you're doing in the current stage that you are in right now, before you can create this new life that you want to become and live in this next chapter that you will move forward to. So the next key point is all about why we overlook the beauty. So the first thing is the pressure of arrive quickly. So the pressure to arrive quickly. I feel like with this, we feel like everything has to come in an instant. We have to get an answer instantly. We have to get things done instantly. We try to get things done very quickly. But in reality, when you don't take things slow, you miss the beauty of things. If y'all don't know, I had a whole season about romanticizing your life. And when I talked about in that whole season, which is season number 3, I talk about living a slow life, living life slowly, and to just enjoy the moment. and how we don't need to be so quick in life, because yes, every minute, every second, every hour is going by very fast. Every day, every month, and every year is going by fast. We are literally in the middle of January, about to be at the end of January soon. So why should we want to speed up life if life is already speeding up around us? Why just not enjoy the slow moments, even though everything around us is arriving quickly? Ask yourself that question. So yeah. The next thing is social media and comparison. This I would never not stop talking about on episodes or on my podcast, because I feel like, one, I get new listeners. I get new listeners on my podcast. So, social media is big right now, right? Comparison is the thief of joy. Why should we compare our life to someone that we can see for 30 seconds and scroll past their video to go see another one? Or for 10 minutes if you watch on YouTube. And the reason why I say that is because we want what we see, but we don't know what goes on behind cameras, behind the doors, behind the walls. We don't know that. And the reason why I say this, for an example, recently, I don't follow this creator, but I have seen her, well, I would say their platform, their content, and around after Christmas time, they got a divorce. And everyone is like, how though? They seem so happy. Then they're blaming the woman on why the man did what he did, which is not right. And it's not right. Nothing that he did is right. And I feel like any man who did something like that to their partner will live and should live in regret. But they seem happy on cameras. But behind doors, we didn't know what words were exchanged. We didn't know what things could have been thrown. But people were like, but I was rooting for them. I want my relationship like them. And I feel like when you're comparing yourself to others, or you want your life as someone as you see on social media, you will not enjoy the life that you're living in right now. You will miss a lot of things that's going on, either in your life or someone else's life. So please don't do that. Do not compare yourself to others, because you never know. And God can always give you what they're going through in your life if you really want it that bad, or he can give you something better that the person that you're watching would never ever receive. So remember that. Okay, besties. So my camera stopped. So like I was saying, so the last thing under the why we overlook the beauty topic under today's episode is impatience with our own growth process. I feel like a lot of people, and I'm raising my hand too because I am that person, I feel like sometimes we think that we are not growing, even though we are. And sometimes, if we don't see the growth that we want to see, we usually want to stop and quit. As someone who used to be a quitter at one point in her life, this was something that once I quit certain things, I did regret a lot of things for not continuing it, because you will regret a lot of things once you quit something. And once you quit something, besties, it is very hard to get back with that thing that you quit. So you have to realize that yes, growth and within your own growth process is two things. It is slow, but it's different from someone else's growth process, and that is okay. Everyone lives a different life. God has different plans for everyone. So, why try to speed up your growth process if God does not want you to be there right now? He might put you in that position right now because you're rushing him, but why speed up the growth process and not enjoying your growth process even though it's taking very slow? Because God wants you there. Why not be okay with that process? Because when you're taking things slowly, besties, you have a more clearer vision of what goal you want to achieve. Let me repeat that so y'all can know. When you're taking things slowly, besties, you have a clearer vision of the goal you want to achieve. And that is true. When you are going fast and you're trying to skip over steps, you're not going to see the vision clearly. You might see it, but you would never see it clearly. I babysit, right? It's my fun job. And the girl that I babysit, she likes watching Super Wise. So I listen to it because it's playing on my TV in my room while I'm like reading or playing on my Switch. And it was an episode about the story of the tortoise and the hare, you know? The hare is fast and he thinks, well, I can take a break. I'm already fast anyways. I can take a break and I'm going to take a nap. The tortoise, who is the slowest one of the slowest animals, caught up. Even though it took a while, he caught up and passed the hare. The hare woke up and realized that, oh no, the tortoise is close to the finish line, but he's slow. So I'm just still gonna wait and then go, basically. End of the story. Long story short, the tortoise won. The hare lost because slow and steady wins the race. I don't know if you heard that term, but it's true. When you're patient, you're most likely to see your growth in the process, and you're most likely to see the vision and the goal in your vision. But when you are impatient, besties, you're not most likely to see the vision. You're not most likely to see the full picture. Maybe a partial of the picture or partial of the goal, but you can't see the whole goal. You will never see the whole goal if you are fast. So be patient. Enjoy your process. Enjoy your growth. Have your small wins. Celebrate the small wins. Because that's the whole thing of the process. And of you finding the beauty in becoming the person you want to become. So yeah. So before we start, in today's episode, I have some Bible verses, but before we do those Bible verses, we have one more. I thought I had 2 tabs, but I actually had 3 tabs, so we have this last tab. So it is recognizing the beauty in the process. So like I just said, besties, celebrating your small wins. When you celebrate your small wins, it is something that you are towards your goal. I know when I finished writing my second draft and submit it to the formatter, that is me celebrating a small win because it is me getting closer on finishing and publishing my debut novel. Next thing is what lessons have you learned? And this can be with a lot of things. I feel like when you are becoming the person that you want to become and when you're becoming that person, you're going to go through a lot of challenges. You're going to go through a lot of ups and downs. You're going to cut through a lot of people. And you might be by yourself. And that is okay. So you have to ask yourself, what lessons have you learned? I realized lately that the lessons that I've learned, that it is okay to not have friends. I don't have a lot of friends. I have like acquaintances, but I don't really have friends. And I'm okay with that. Because it is very hard to make friends nowadays, especially with women, because I feel like there's a lot of women who say they're girls, but they're not girls. And I would want someone who's honest with me, but not someone who pushes me to the side. I want someone who can just listen, but not someone who can give me their 2 cents if they haven't been in a situation. I want someone who, yes, I will support you if you can support me. I just feel like that right there, like you supporting each other, because you want each other to win, you know? If you don't want to see me win, then why are you talking to me? Why are you friends with me, you know? So I feel like one of my lessons I've learned is that it's okay to not have friends. And that is okay, because at the end of the day, I'm my own best friend. And one day I will have a group of friends who will love me for who I am. And I'm just learning to love myself more and being friendly and kindly to myself, because sometimes you can't call everyone your friend. You cannot call everyone your friend. And that's why I'd be like, actually, no, that person's actually not my friend. That person's like more of an acquaintance to me than a friend. Because it be like that. So yeah. The next thing is unexpected surprises. When you are in this process of doing all the habits that you want to do to become better, following the steps that you have made for yourself to achieve each and every goal, there's going to be unexpected surprises. This can be good surprises and this can be bad surprises. Now, for a bad surprise, for an example, I watch this content creator. I used to love her and her family channel a lot before, but I will watch her and her couples channel that she has with her partner here and there. But recently, she got a new car like late last year, late 2025, and it was a 2026 Mercedes. Around Christmas time, she got an accident, and basically the Mercedes got totaled. It can't drive, it's not drivable. That was unexpected surprise for her. Now, a lot of people in her comments under the TikTok, when she posted that, said it's grateful that you wasn't in your Corvette, because she has a red Corvette. And it is true. It's grateful that she wasn't her Corvette, because what could happen if she was in her Corvette? Because both her and her partner was in a car. So what if they was in the Corvette? They probably wouldn't be here no more. So things can happen. Bad things can happen. Good things can happen. But for our own good. And you know, with me, I was talking to like the EOC investigator, because if you don't know, I quit my own job. I was forcibly to quit. But what if like I never quit? Would I be where I am now? Would I continue recording? Probably not, because my mental health would be downhill. But it's like things like that, like good things can happen and we can learn something from it. And it's like, okay, these are the good surprises. But the bad surprises can happen and we can still learn something from it. But it can actually have a good outcome, because at the end of the day, we're still alive and we're still healthy. You know? So yeah. And then the last thing is having faith and having trust. And as someone who is a believer of God, sometimes this is just, it's hard. I wouldn't say very hard, but it is hard sometimes because, like I said, with the whole social media and comparing ourselves to others, but we never know what they're going through behind the cameras. I'm like, I want to achieve a lot of things. I want to get my license. I want to get my car fixed. I need a job first to get my car fixed, to get my license. But I feel like I don't have the faith. I want to start posting more, but I don't have the faith and I don't trust in myself, but I kind of I trust in God. I want to say God, I do trust in God, but I don't trust in myself to have faith in myself. I can have faith in God and have trust in God, but I don't have faith within myself and don't have trust within myself. You can have faith in God and you have trust in God, but he's going to ask you that question is, do you have faith in yourself and do you trust yourself to achieve these things that you want to achieve? Because yes, he will always be by your side, but do you, the person who is listening to this or watching this, do you have faith within yourself and trust within yourself to actually get your ass up right now? And I did say that. I am sorry. To get your behind up and achieve your goals. The first 3 months are literally our 3-month trial. 3-month free trial. Do you think you can achieve most of your goals within those first 3 months? Within your 3-month free trial period? Ask yourself that. Because you have to have faith in yourself and you have to trust yourself too. Like you trust God and have faith in God. So yeah. So the four Bible verses that I have are Galatians 6:4, and I will be reading in the King James Version. So Galatians 6:4 is, but let every man prove his own work, and then shall have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in another. So this is basically your journey, and you're alone in your own journey, and that you have to enjoy and experience the beauty that God has put you in this journey that he wants you to go through. The next one is Philippians 4 verse 11, which is, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content. Contentment opens your eyes. So this is a meaning. So contentment opens your eyes to the beauty of your current season. And like I said before, that you have to want to know what is the beauty in the current season that you are. You have to ask yourself that, because what if something happened in the current season and you like that? So you don't want to change everything that you want in life. You don't want to change every season, like the current season that you want, but you want to tweak it a bit, you know? The next one is about God's timing and patience. These two. So Ecclesiastes 3:11 is, he hath made everything beautiful in his time. This is a reminder that beauty is often reveals itself in God's timing, not ours, meaning don't rush things. Enjoy the process. Yes, it will take time and yes, it will be slow, but if you enjoy the process, you will see what God has for you. God will open doors for you that are meant to be open for you. So please remember that. The next one is Habakkuk 2 verse 3, which is, for the vision is yet for a appointed time. Through it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So this is basically, even if it's becoming to feel slow, God's promises are never late. And as someone who has prayed and prayed and prayed to have a partner who knows God, who loves God, who will respect me, respect my family, who will loves me for me, and would never ask me to change for who I am, and my boyfriend is that person, I am so glad that I gave a dating app a chance one last time, and that I did enjoy my single season. I did love myself, because now I'm in the most beautiful relationship that I could ever pray for. The next two are about trusting the process. So James 1:4 is, but let patience have her perfect works, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. So this is patience. So this means patience allow the fullness of God work in you to be revealed. Patience is key. Have you heard of that phrase? Patient is key, and that is true. You just have to be patient, besties. And then the last Bible verse is Isaiah 60 verse 22, which is, I the Lord will hasten in his time. So this means you won't miss what is meant for you. God will bring it past right on time. So whatever is meant for you will come to you. You probably heard that term. Whatever is meant to you will come to you. You just have to be patient. Don't rush the process, besties, because when you rush the process, you're going to miss what's meant for you. So that is it for today's episode, besties. Before I close down today's episode, again, the quote of today is, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than a risk let's read it again. So again, the quote of today, besties, and the day came when the risk to remain tight and a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. So that is today's quote. Today's affirmation is, I embrace the beauty of my journey, knowing that every step is shaping the person I'm meant to be. And today's journal prompt is, reflect on a part of your life where you've seen growth or transformation, even if it still is in progress. Write about how becoming has brought unexpected beauty into your life and that you've learned to appreciate along the way. So besties, that is it for You Against You podcast. If you are watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave a rating or review. If you are listening to this on Spotify, don't forget to leave a rating and comment, besties. If you have any episodes ideas, you can post them under the Spotify comments or the not Apple comments. Well, you can also post them like in the Apple reviews. I read those, and you can also post them in the YouTube comments. You can follow You Against You podcast on both IG and TikTok, which is You Against You by Deja. Again, that's You Against You by Deja. Everything will be in the show notes. The show notes, everything that I talked about in today's episodes, all my key points will also be in the show notes. They're always in the show notes. So if you ever would just want to write down or everything, you can do that. If you miss the verse and you don't feel like rewinding it, you can always check the show notes down below of how the verse is in the show notes. But I really hope that you like today's episode, besties, and I see y'all next time. And remember, it's you against you, not you against the world. And I see y'all next episode. Bye, besties.